Cinema Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Austin, and joining me today is the editor and composer of the podcast, Stefan Krieger. Welcome, Steph.
Hello again.
Hello again. Luke, unfortunately, cannot join us today as A, he hasn't been able to watch the movie, and B, he's sick. So we wish him a speedy recovery.
Two terrible excuses, if you ask me. But...
This is, of course, this is a podcast where we discuss the program of London's most historic cinema venue. And today we are discussing the debut feature film by Daniel Roher. Tuna. And this is where Luke would give his synopsis, but he's not here, so I will read a quick one from IMDb. A talented piano tuner who suffers from hyperacusis discovers an unexpected aptitude for cracking safes, turning his life upside down. Ooh. So you watched this film before we did because you saw this at the BFI Film Festival last year.
Yes, I saw this in October sometime.
Oh, so what a nice preview for you. And it was what? It was like a secret movie or mystery movie?
So they call it the BFI Film Festival. They have a surprise. I'm not sure when they started doing it, but they have a surprise film which you can buy a ticket for, and you have no idea what it is. And so I'd never done it before, and I thought, you know what, it would be pretty cool just to go watch a surprise film, because also I'd looked at the history of what the previous surprise films had been, and there's always a banger on there, and I'm like, really? Interesting, okay. So I thought, I'll go for it, and I in my head I was like, watch this be the one year it's going to be a terrible film that I paid money for, and it was this. And I remember when it came up on the screen. Well, they announced it. An announcer came out and said, and today's surprise film is going to be Tuna. And I thought to myself, oh my God, it's going to be a film about like some sort of fishing boat, and they're like catching tuna. Or it's going to be so boring. Like, why did I do this? And then, so I didn't know about the film. I never saw it. Obviously, the trailer wasn't even out yet. So I hadn't even heard about it. I didn't even know Leah Whittle was in it. I had nothing. And so I just got dropped straight into it. And it was a great experience.
Yeah, you raved it. Mm-hmm. You raved it to myself and Luke and said, you guys need to go and check this film out. Just saw it. Yeah, which put it on our radar. Mm-hmm. And then, it's weird because it had its debut at the festival and probably other festivals. And then for a long time, we just didn't hear about it.
Studio didn't pick it up. A studio did not want to pick this film up for some reason.
No one picked it up. There was no distribution for it, which was weird. But finally it's had its release. It's been picked up. I can't remember who picked it up. Who was it? It is. Oh well, I don't even really know who they are. Elevation Pictures and Black Bear Pictures. So
I know Black Bear. Okay, yeah, I don't know Elevation.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I've ever heard of them. I must have. But so cool. So why don't you give us your initial thoughts? Yeah, because you're the one that saw it first.
Before I do that, I just want to say, as somebody who goes and watches films at the BFI Film Festival, do you know how difficult it is to watch something that you love and not be able to talk about it with somebody for months?
For months,
and you have to just kind of go, when is this coming out? Oh, it's so frustrating.
That's a long wait.
Yeah. And so my initial thoughts, I loved it. As everyone knows, I'm a musician. And the film is very, very heavily music-based, and I loved everything about that. And the editing was great. I loved the performances. And also, I just kind of didn't know where we were going when I was watching the film. I couldn't actually go, oh, I know, this is probably going to end over here.
Yeah.
It was a nice sort of ride that I was on, which was unpredictable, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah, and obviously, and the reason I enjoyed this one so much is it's one thing going to the cinema to watch a film that you know what you're watching. It's a different thing to have a surprise film thrown in front of you. In a month that I watched about 13 films at the film festival, and this was one of the best ones I saw out of the 13. So that was also, comparing it to the rest of the things I saw there, was great, So I had
zero expectation in place.
Exactly. Yeah, those are my initial thoughts. What about you, Chris?
Nice.
Uh-oh.
I
Should we just end the call now?
Yeah, it's tough because I thought the film was okay. I honestly, from what I've read and from what I've seen, I seem to be out on an island on my own here. I think it's a good story, and I thought it was really interesting and quite gripping at times, and I do like the characters, but there's one thing that lets the movie down for me, and that is the lead actor, Leo Woodall.
I thought you'd say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he just takes away from the entire film. Unfortunately, his character is very cool and interesting, but his performance is not for me. And I thought that everyone around him is giving a better, more interesting performance than he is. I mean, Dustin Hoffman is 60 years older than him
and has about giving 15 minutes screen time, maybe.
Yeah, 15 minutes, and he's giving a better, energetic, more charismatic performance. He's acting him off the screen. And Woodall is just too, in my opinion, he's too bland. He's too cool for school. You know, he always just looks like he's pouting and smoldering. To me, it felt like a vain performance. Like he's aware that he's a good-looking lad on camera, and he just kind of plays to that.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? So that was the one drawback to the movie, because I kind of liked everything else about it.
So that,
but
you say that dragged it down at least a few points in your rating, whatever that may be.
Unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, you know, I mean,
go on.
Well, just because it just popped into my head, because I haven't seen much of Leo Woodall. We did talk about the film he was in, Nuremberg, recently.
Yeah.
But I had no thoughts on him in that movie, because it's such a small role. And I thought, you know, he was fine as a supporting actor. I didn't watch the new Bridget Jones film, so I don't know much about Leo Woodall in terms of his filmography. But what just popped into my head is, you know, I'm trying to think about if Rami Malek was playing this role. And I know, for instance, Luke doesn't really like Rami Malek because he thinks Rami Malek just does Rami Malek things.
Yeah.
But I just think Rami Malek is so much more interesting on camera, and that was proven in Nuremberg. I think that I can't take my eyes off of him. And Woodall, so far anyway, is just not that actor for me.
Interesting, yeah. I can see that, because when I think about, considering I've seen it twice now, once at the film festival and then I watched it again just to kind of jog my memory in the cinema. Looking at his performance and thinking about it, it's a very, I see what you mean when you say bland, because there's not much going on. He's not one of those actors, well, not that I've seen him in anyway, that's quite out there or quite heavy on the facial expressions and charismatic, but I'm not sure if that's him, because again, I haven't seen him enough. I don't know if that's him or if that's just sort of how he approached the character, because I can totally see this character just sort of drop, like walking down the street or having a conversation with once in your life, just kind of dropping under the radar, and you kind of forget about this person, you know, not knowing what's going on behind closed doors. Just seeing this character, you know, and also he doesn't want to talk to anybody, because he has his headset, you know, the sound protection on for his ears a lot of the time, and the only really person he talks to is his uncle or grandfather.
I don't know. I always thought they were just mates. I couldn't quite tell.
I think it's his maybe uncle.
I don't even think they're related, to be honest. From what I'm seeing here so Wikipedia's plot synopsis says when his mentor, Harry, played by Hoffman, racks up a medical debt. Yeah, so I just think that they're really close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that didn't really affect me when I see this kind of non eccentric character. Um, and I think in the moments where maybe you expect him to be a bit more out there or bring more emotion to the character, I think it just for me it just fits because you've already established who this character is and the kind of person he is with his hearing issue.
Yeah, you might be right. You probably are right. It maybe it's a matter of casting. I think personally, maybe if we tried a different actor in the role,
Mm.
I'd like to see how different that could be. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I think about when he meets Ruthie
Mm-hmm.
in the movie, he's so charming and he's so cool.
Mm.
The way he's speaking to her, while she's practicing, and then when he's trying to tune that piano in the house and that noise keeps interrupting him, which is, they're trying to break into this safe. The way he just walks in there, sees them trying to do this, and he's like, guys, can you shut the fuck up? Thank you. I'm trying to tune. I'm like, why are you so chill and casual about this? Like,
See,
nothing phases this
I
guy.
approached it in a different way. So for example, let's go back to the Ruthie meeting. When he goes there, and especially after Harry, his mentor, has been hospitalized, and he's now had to do all these jobs by himself. He's already pissed off with that, and so that he's going to this place, and he's always sort of just got that raised eyebrow, sort of. Yeah, let me just the E flat. It sounds a bit off. Let me fix that. Oh, you when you go when she says, "How long are you going to be?" Hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then goes to get her
Mm,
from the room. Is like he just doesn't care. He's so done with this
mm.
shit to do, especially now that he's doing it by himself. And there's that montage where he's going to different jobs and they're all asking him to do things he's not qualified to do or paid to do. Oh, can you fix do
Yeah,
you mind fixing the
yeah,
toilet or something? It's
yeah.
blocked or whatever.
That's quite good. Yeah.
um, and so, from what I see from that, it's not charming. I just think he's fucking fed up. He wants to this over and done with. He wants to go. But because he's such a perfectionist, if he hears something, he goes, "Let me just fix that. Let me just quickly come in there." When he after the whole thing, during that scene, actually, is a really cool scene. I like that scene because when she plays and she's like, "Do you have perfect pitch?" and she's playing the notes and he's saying what the notes are, and then she plays that
Mm.
massive piece for a few seconds and he names every single chord and
You're right.
progression and note.
Mm.
And but when she's asking him to, because she's testing him, and she says, because I think he's packing up and he's sort of facing her direction, and she goes, "You're cheating, don't look." And he does this thing where he's like, and he sort of like looks up, and so I think he's really just fucking done with this shit. Which I suppose
Mm.
in one way you could just be like, "No, leave me the fuck alone," and let him just walk out. But probably just also entertaining her a little bit because he knows how talented he is.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's yeah, I'm sure you're right. And it's maybe that's the character, maybe that's how he's being directed,
Mm,
but it never translated as compelling for me. That choice doesn't make me lean forward for him.
mm,
The problem with that is that, like I said, everyone else is really good in the film.
yeah.
And I really like Havana Rose Liu, who
Mm-hmm.
plays Ruthie in the film.
Mm-hmm.
There is something so naturally charming and compelling about her.
Yeah.
And they have such a great chemistry, but it felt to me as if she's the one bringing the chemistry. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She was, it felt so natural, and she was lovely in it.
She's
She
great.
was lovely.
She
Yeah.
really in a scene where there's two with just but the both of them. For example, when they're
Mm,
in her apartment and he's come to fix the piano or to retune it. Or there was a leak, sorry, so he's trying to dry it and then fix it, whatever. And
yes.
when they're having conversations, obviously he's just being like his boring old self, really. And she's the one bringing the entertainment and the it's just like spicing it up a little bit, because you're used to what you're seeing with him. So when they're together, and then you have that sweet their romantic relationship as well, which you're a bit more excited to see where that's going. But she definitely is much more alive
Yes,
as an
alive.
actress and as
Yeah.
a character.
Yes. There's energy, there's zip, there's, it's like the analogy of keeping the ball in the air or the balloon in the air. She is doing that constantly. And yeah, so we spoke about Dustin Hoffman, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't realize that he was just having basically a cameo appearance in this movie. I fully expected Dustin Hoffman to be in the whole film, basically, as one of the main cast. Yeah, I didn't realize that they sideline him, and that's such a shame.
Is that because of the trailer you saw, or just because that's what you expected?
I actually didn't watch the trailer. I remember when we went to go and see Michael together, and Tuna, they played the trailer, didn't they?
Yeah,
and I left.
Yeah.
I had to go to the toilet anyway, but I knew we were going to do it. So for me, it was good to I didn't want to see anything.
Yeah.
I think the only promotional image of Tuna, because when you were raving about it, I looked it up, and they didn't even have a poster for it then.
Nope, it was just the word, wasn't it?
No, it was a still.
Oh.
And the still was, I think it was a shot, someone must open their front door, and they just see Leo Woodall standing next to Dustin Hoffman there as the piano tuner.
Gotcha, yeah.
And I remember just looking, and I was like, okay, cool. So I just assumed Dustin Hoffman was... And it's such a shame that he leaves the movie, because the man is a marvel. What he's able to do with his screen time.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Like, I want to know more about him. You know what I mean?
His life before, because he really loves jazz and he loves music, and he had this whole career as a pianist, I think.
Yes.
And yeah, so they drop a few things here and there, and a picture of him when he's younger, and conversations about what he used to get up to after he passed, and things like that, which it's always a little fun insight, because as you said, it's interesting. You want to dive more into him. And what was the last thing you've seen Dustin Hoffman in, by the way, sort of recently?
Because I don't know.
I have no idea, but it seems like
it's been a while.
Yeah, he kind of disappeared off the face of the earth for a bit, and he comes back and sort of does a great performance in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, this is what I think is kind of like a big deal, I guess, having Dustin Hoffman in your movie. Exactly, especially because he just doesn't seem to work as much these days, and he's one of the legends.
I'm just trying to put my head in sort of Dustin Hoffman's head and be like, he's not taking on these big, huge roles anymore. So I wonder what it was that brought him to this film. Was it the script, or did he have a connection with the director or the writer? What was it that brought him to it?
Yeah, really good point. Really good point. Because the director, this Daniel Roher, this is his first narrative film. He's a documentarian, and I didn't realize that. The guy has made so many documentaries, and actually he's made some documentaries that even I want to watch. He did a documentary called Navalny. I think it's about a guy who survived an assassination attempt by, I don't know if it's the Russian government or something. Yeah, he was fed a nerve agent or something like that. He's some, political, it was some sort, he got tangled with the government.
Right.
His name's Alexei Navalny, and he almost got poisoned. That documentary, I'm pretty sure, won the Oscar.
Oh.
Yes, it did. It won the Oscar for Best Documentary Film. So he's an Oscar-winning documentary filmmaker. And yeah, it's so interesting to have him do this feature film that he also co-wrote.
Yeah.
Purely original. And if I'm not mistaken, he didn't edit it. But he has this really cool, I thought there was this really cool, the way they use montage in the movie.
Oh, so good. So good. The editing reminded me of like Whiplash, except you're not in one place with the instruments, but you're sort of popping around in different places. But the editing's so good. That's what stood out to me as well. That it's fantastic, the editing in this film.
Yeah, fantastic. And actually, I looked up this guy before I watched the movie, and knowing he had a documentary background, those montages felt like how someone would approach a documentary.
Right, right.
the way it just dispels information to you at such a quick clip within seconds.
Whilst someone's narrating and you're just giving you like information visually. Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah, that really tracked for me.
Yeah.
To
music as well.
And the
way
music,
they edit to music.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. The editing, the music, the sound design, especially with the fact, the sound design is fantastic.
Yeah, because you're having to. I love when they put us into the perspective of what he's hearing, or when he's not hearing, rather. And when there's a loud sound, and he's obviously disgruntled, and the way they play with that in the scenes, it's just so good because it puts you in his shoes really quickly and easily. And I'm trying to think of like, because there's obviously the ones where his ears are ringing, and obviously there's ringing in the film as well. But then I think there's also some scenes where you're not understanding what's going on, like you can't hear what's going on, but visually you can see. I think. Am I wrong?
I think so. From what I'm trying to remember of the movie, there are moments like that. Yeah. And it's just so clever. Yeah, it's so clever the way that they use sound. And yeah, I just feel like the director has a really good command of that.
Yeah.
And I suppose you have to, when you're making your main character, have this problem with his ears. You need to make sure that the way you convey that sonically is, it does convey it.
Yeah.
That it gets it across, and they do that really, really well.
Yep.
I did feel like the ending was a bit weird for me. I feel like the ending felt a bit unresolved. I thought it ends in a way that's a bit too neat. Things just wrap up.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, wait, that's it? I mean, the way he just gets the watch back is a bit too easy. I mean, even though he gets beat up and loses a tiny bit of his ear. A tiny bit of his ear. By the way, when he looks in the mirror and to check how much of his ear had gone, I was like, oh, that's not that bad, to be fair. But yeah, beyond that final scene, I thought there was more to come. Did you feel that way?
I felt that way the first time I watched it in October, and my rating changed compared to the rating I gave it after I watched it the other day.
Was it higher when you rewatched it?
Higher after I watched it, it went higher, but it was lower before because I felt that as well. And also, there was a moment when I was watching the film where I was like, what does the film want to be? Because the beginning is quite like a drama between his mentor and him doing this job. And then it becomes sort of thrillery. And then it keeps dipping in and out of drama and thriller. And I was like, I'm noticing the changes between both, as opposed to just being smooth and me not noticing at all because it's kind of blending together. And that's one thing I left, and I was like, do I like the ending? It was good, but I wasn't sure if I really liked how they just kind of summed everything up, But then on my second watch, I was like, actually, no, it's actually good.
Yeah, I think in the moment, as I'm watching the film, I expect and maybe I want more. When I think back on it, I can see what Roher's going for, and it's quite a cool way to sum up this entire story cut to black.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. But yeah, it did feel a little jarring initially.
Yeah. There's one thing that maybe it's on purpose. Maybe they did have a scene with this and then they cut it out. But when he goes to the house, and one of the jobs that he's like not sure, he's like, "Why we had a house?" And they go in, there's a whole thing going on, and he's told to eat the paper with the names, with the letters or the words on it, and he goes back and he's like saying it over as he's driving back, saying the words over and over, and then he notes them down, realizes that it's just the big thing full of cash, right? That never, after you find out the money and he's got access to it and he knows the codes because he's written it down, never go back to it again. But to be fair, he kind of does, because he has I'm not sure if this is money that he's earned from working with him the entire time, or if it's money from that account that he's pulled out of,
I see.
that he gives to his to the widow in the piano.
It's got to be, right? It's got to be. Otherwise, like you're saying, why would that be so significant that he's memorized? Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I'm just surprised there's not one scene later on where they just go back to it going, just to let you know, he's actually not, this isn't right. terrible for him because he's come out with this, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. Also, if that was me and I was told to eat that paper, sorry, you're gonna have to kill me. That's just not happening. And the thing is, he eats the paper like it's edible stuff like that you get on a cake. There's no, I'm sorry, but you do not scrumple up paper and put it in your mouth, mash it down and swallow it that easy. I'm sorry, that just doesn't happen.
Maybe your throat opens up a little more when someone's got a gun to your head.
When there's a gun to your head.
I'm just thinking of a scenario where the guy's like, right, now fold it up, don't look at it, now put it in your mouth and eat it. And you go, what? Put it in your mouth and eat it or I'll shoot the back of the head. Okay, all right. And you're putting it in there and you're going, and it's coming back out and you're like, I physically can't, and you're trying to get it wet so it goes down easier and you're trying to swallow it.
Honestly, I'm so bad at the dentist with my gag reflex. Maybe they need to hold a loaded gun to my head and I would, maybe then it would work.
It's all about stakes,
It's all about the stakes. It's all about the stakes. But yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to say. I was so much more interested in the relationship between what's Leo's character called? Leo Woodall's character? Nikki. Between Nikki and Harry, because I love the fact that they're not family, as we've possibly just seen here, and they're just friends.
Yeah.
But they're friends separated by generations in age.
Yeah.
And I love that. I want to know more about that. I find those kinds of friendships fascinating. And it reminds me of the friendship that I have with Jay, who was a teacher at the acting school I went to in New York. And we maintained a friendship for years after and made films together, did a play together. And, the man's in his late 70s. And, I was in my 20s. And we would go out to dinner and we would drink and we would spend time together. And there's something I think really special. And I do see him as a mentor.
Yeah.
He is 100% a mentor to me with the acting.
Yeah.
And as well as being a friend, And I just think that there's something so fascinating about that kind of relationship. I mean, it's one thing when you go out with people that are younger than you. It's one thing that when you go out with people in your age group, like your friends. It's another thing entirely to have this bond with someone who was born decades before you, who has a completely different outlook or perspective on life.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because it's not as common for you to see people who are friends with somebody decades older or younger than them, but then also it's fine to be friends with someone who's decades older or younger than you, but then there's obviously with some people certain reasons why that's a thing. Is it because it's a family friend? Is it because it's this or that? As opposed to just you meeting that person and becoming friends on your own account, with no sort of link towards hereditary or anything like that.
Yeah. And so I really, I appreciate that's a part of the movie. It's fascinating that Roher thought to even write that sort of relationship in, because to me, that's the most unexpected relationship in the entire film.
Yeah.
I remember going to meet Jay once in London when he was down from New York, and we went for dinner, and I was walking with him, and he was walking down the street with me, and he said something like, I looked in the mirror today and I'm just how I feel, who I am as a person is not the reflection that was looking back at me. That was an old man looking back at me. And I just thought, fuck, that he's imparting that knowledge to someone decades younger who is yet to experience that.
Yeah.
And it's just that dynamic creates such a fascinating relationship.
Yeah, because it's one, again, he's opening up to someone who's, like you said, decades younger than him, which usually when you open up to someone is someone you can sort of relate to.
Yeah.
So you'd think he'd be saying another friend who he knows is roughly his age or 10 years younger than him, who he'd say that to, because then the friend can go, I know what you mean. I look in the mirror and I do the same thing. But the fact that he's opening up to you, and he probably knows that you don't look in the mirror and think the same thing because you've never said it, or maybe
totally not. Yeah. But I suppose he knows I have the emotional maturity to take that information in and just process and just have empathy for it
without going, oh man, you're old, man, like, because I'm sure there are people who would respond like that, or wouldn't know how to respond, rather.
You wouldn't know how. Exactly. But listen, I liked the story. I think it's a cool original concept. And it's a thriller aimed at adults, which I feel like we get less and less of these days.
Yeah, it's also, I don't think it's one of those films that has to be overly explained during the film. Like, I'm going to go do this because I'm low on this. I need to do that. Saying it out loud, the characters, as opposed to, no, we can pick up what's going on. We're picking up what you're putting down.
Exactly. I actually saw Larry Taylor's Letterboxd review of it a week or two ago.
What did he say?
Well, I think he's with you on this.
So Larry, he gave Larry.
He gave it 4.5 stars.
Nice.
And he wrote, Tuna is loaded with plot contrivances and coincidences, but they are easy to accept and go with in a movie full of such heart, such empathy, such thrilling tension. This is where me and Larry disagree. He says, Leo Woodall is tremendous in the lead role. His deep-set eyes and sensitive demeanor pull you into his life and make you feel incredible sympathy for his situation. And Havana Rose Liu, who plays Ruthie, bounces off Woodall in all the right ways. Their relationship feels true and makes for some surprising emotionality. I never expected to cry. I also just love movies where someone has a unique job that requires specific craftsmanship and specialty tools. Seeing Woodall and Hoffman, also great, do their job as piano tuners is just as compelling as all the suspense plot machinations.
Yeah.
Surprisingly blown away. Terrific adult movie.
Nice. See, that's a man who knows what he's talking about. No, I agree with everything you said. I think I'm curious. If I wasn't a musician, would I like this film as much as I do? I'm not too sure, but I love the fact that you can, like you said, the intricacies of when a certain profession is shown on screen, you actually get to know what they do and the parts of the piano and what they have to listen out for, the tools they use to put it together and take it apart, all these kind of things. And I find it fascinating because you're also learning as well. And
it's true. Yeah.
What was I going to say? No, yeah, that was
it. Well, that's also why, actually, another reason I love documentaries. You get to just experience a whole other culture, country, job.
Yeah.
It's an incredible empathy machine in that way. And I don't know who gave this quote. I don't know if it was a critic or someone, some creative in the business who said that there's nothing better than watching someone who's good at their job do their job on screen. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between somebody who is passionate about something, talk about something they're passionate about, compared to somebody doing something in front of you.
Just doing.
Yeah, without having to explain or do. It's just like, look, this is what I've done. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, even if it's something as like a shoe shine job.
Yeah.
Watching the process. I think actually the best example I can give is the movie Perfect Days. Did you watch that?
Is that Harrison Ford?
No, Perfect Days was about 2 years ago. We spoke about it on the podcast. Japanese movie.
Never saw it now.
Yeah. Oh, you need to see that film. Directed by that German filmmaker Wim Wenders.
Oh yeah.
and it's just about a toilet cleaner, a public toilet cleaner.
Right.
And you just watch his daily routine, and it's fascinating. So yeah, and he's good at his job.
Yeah.
But cool. Did you come up with a pairing?
I
for
did.
This movie?
I did. And
cool.
I have a backup just in case you said the same.
yeah, same. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I went with the film Drive with Ryan Gosling.
It crossed my mind.
This is why we have backups. Yeah, I just think, I think just the simplicity of somebody who does something professionally and gets dragged into a world that wasn't intentional, or maybe it was intentional, but now you get brought into something that you kind of want to get out of, and it's difficult to get out, and your life sort of gets ruined. All that stuff. That was, for me, is just very similar to Drive.
Yeah, it's a good pairing. I totally get why you went there. And the film I chose is actually exactly along the same lines, because I went with Baby Driver.
That's my second one.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. It just, listen, the funny thing about these pairings is that your pick and my pick, I actually don't like those films. I'm not a big fan of those films, but Baby Driver felt right to me for exactly the same things that you said. It's someone who's very good specifically at what they do.
Yeah.
But with Baby Driver, you also have the added element of he uses music in order for him to pull off his entire job, which is, again, heist. And Tuna is essentially like a small-scale heist movie as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Edgar Wright's film Baby Driver, it felt about right.
Yeah.
And if you watched all these films as in a programmed film festival, that's just a brilliant trilogy, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, they're all centered around a male protagonist that just sort of goes from being a professional to being forced to be a professional, and in all of them, I'd say. That's an interesting trilogy to watch, actually.
Really good. I think the way I would do it is you watch either Drive or Baby Driver first, and then end it with Tuna as something completely unexpected. Just like the way you watched it.
What did you... Okay, so if you had to pick an order, what order would you pick? If you had to pick one. I would probably start with... Ooh, that's a tough one. That's really tough. Because I'm trying to think about tone. Exactly.
Yeah. And Baby Driver's clearly the more fun. And so do you start with the fun and the energy, or do you have to bring that in order to wake people up a bit?
What would you want if you were watching it in a would you want it to start with fun?
I think, I actually think Drive first.
Okay.
Let's get the really serious, dour tone out of the way, then bring it up. And then, because Tuna is not a dour, downbeat film, it's quite light and it's quite bouncy.
Quite funny in some places as well, yeah.
And quite funny, yeah, exactly. So, yeah. What do you think? Do you think that sounds about right?
I'll do the opposite. I would start with Baby Driver,
start with a
and
bang.
Then Tuna, and then Drive. So like the
and
mood
then
just
Tuna.
Slowly just kind of drops.
That's very good.
Yeah,
that's That's probably even better. That's probably even better, considering the last note of Tuna that we see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which also excellent. That scene. What did you think of the last scene?
I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was really, really cool.
Yeah. Because he says to her, when they have their argument, I'm a better pianist than you'll ever be.
Ouch.
And that's like, oh, that's rough. Because you've seen her and you're like, she's fucking great. What are you talking about? But I'm really glad, because we always kind of forget about his ability to play piano. Yeah, it's brought up quite a few times in the film, but because there's so much going on around it, you're like, it makes you forget. So when he sat in the house, I was like, where are we going? Where are we going with this? And then when he sits down and plays that piece, which I've also listened to on Spotify because it's a great piece.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's the last track on the album in the Tuna album. And I just really loved that scene. And I was expecting, I don't know, the part of me that was expecting the the maestro Marius Meisner.
Yes. Played by Jean Reno,
Reno,
another legend.
Yeah, you got Dustin Hoffman and Jean Reno in the same film. Very small parts, probably around the same on in terms of film length for both of them.
Yeah, I didn't even mention Reno, but fuck's sake, yeah.
It's like tuner. What happened to you, piano tuner? And and I was expecting Nicky to play this piece at the end, and then Maestro comes around the corner and is like,
yeah,
you, my friend, Ruthie, get the hell out of here, grab your stuff and go.
Yeah, because he's there. I forgot he's in the same fucking space.
It's his piano.
Yeah. But, thinking about it now, again, it's another very fascinating layer to things when you put someone who was essentially a piano prodigy, who has their life course has been completely derailed, and now he spends his days tuning them.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, I get, I'm thinking from an acting perspective. Okay, you never made it as an actor, but you keep yourself in the business. You're on set. You are the, you're the script coordinator, you're the runner, or the gaffer, or something. But that's tough. That's tough to be so close to something that you
love, and people are telling you you're going to be great when the better you get, the more you do this, you're going to be great in 10 years, and that gets stripped from you, which I think also adds to, like I said before, when he's sort of pissed that he has to do the job by himself. I think he's also pissed because, like you said, he's tuning pianos that he should be playing in front of thousands of people.
Exactly. Yeah,
so he's just so miserable with his life and his condition.
Yeah, and like you said, even in the midst of his day job, they're asking him to do other things like unclog a toilet. Yeah. And so just there's no recognition of him as a talented individual, at all. And I think I kind of relate to that in a way. I really, because when I was in acting school, it felt kind of similar, where people were saying to me, you are great, and within a matter of time you will be this. And all these years have gone by and that hasn't happened, and you feel that. And actually, I can only imagine if I had a partner who was massively successful at doing what I also wanted to do. Exactly. How does that dynamic play out? So
you want to be supportive, but at the same time you're like, this was my dream, this was mine.
And for him to go, and sorry to say it, but I'm better than you. I was better than you. That is like, fuck, you know. I could just go into a whole film about that, even, I credit to this guy Roher. Even as a writer, it's a lot of very, very interesting, very cool things in there. And I can't wait to see what he does next.
And we love independent and original films.
100%. More, please, more.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Shall we wrap it up there?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Thank you, Steph. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine, Chris.
Thank you for joining me, and come back and join us next time as we discuss Spielberg's new film, Disclosure Day,
dun, dun, dun.
with Olivia Wilde's new film, The Invite.
Ooh. What a pairing that's going to be.
What a pairing. Yeah, what a conversation. I'm so curious. But yes, like, rate, review, subscribe, do all the things. It helps us massively. We are in the charts for film and TV podcasts, if data is to be believed, and we want that to continue. So reach out, keep listening. We rely on you, and thank you.
Ooh.
And we'll see you next time.
And cinemas rely on you too. So go and watch the films in the cinema, because one, it's a better experience, and two, films need the money. Films need the money to keep making good films.
Couldn't have said it better myself.